Go.
Okay, so this is the careers of law and science, my three careers that I chose. So the first one, I did forensic science, and forensic scientists, they aid in criminal investigations by collecting and analyzing evidence at crime scenes, and they help like find the motive of killing somebody or like what they used, things like that. So the required training and education is at least 2 years of on-the-job training after you get an associate's in science. And then some of the benefits is there's a 14% growth rate per year, but it is a high stress environment and you get very emotionally fatigued. And then those are the pays. I'm not good with the numbers. This picture right here, this is a forensic scene. And so just to analyze this picture, they're wearing all of their PPE, not just to protect themselves, but also to make sure that they don't contaminate the crime scene. He's taking a sample of maybe DNA or maybe it's just another substance. And then these markers, they place those around the scene so that way you have a more descriptive way of figuring out where everything is. So like, instead of just saying, oh, the body was found by the door, you know like which door, like the door with the 70 marker next to it. So it's just make things more accurate. So the way that it ties into healthcare is that, I mean, you're helping humans. Helping humans is a lot of time healthcare. Even though most of the time the humans are deceased, you're still helping humans. So the next one is detective and crime scene investigator. And so they analyze evidence as well, except for they usually don't go into the lab as much. The required training is, there's no required college training or anything, it's really just on-the-job training. Some benefits is that you get, you typically get insurance from your work and everything, but it also is like very detrimental to your mental health just because you're seeing so many gruesome things. And then those are the pays. So this is a detective's board, and just to analyze the picture, so there's usually a central point where everything ties together. All of the red strings, I know it's kind of hard to see on the board, but they're how everything ties together. There's notes, there's pictures, there's evidence, there's a little bit of everything that a detective would find and need. So detectives tying into healthcare, so just like healthcare, they're trying to find like the cause, the root cause. Kind of like a doctor, they're trying to find out why you're sick or what you're sick with. Detectives trying to find out what happened and why it happened. So my next career is an aerospace engineer, and they develop and design aircrafts and make sure that they function properly. There's a lot of required training for this. You need to go to engineering school for at least 4 years and get your bachelor. They prefer if you get your master's in it, and then you have to have like several, like at most 5 to 6 years, or at least 5 to 6 years of on-the-job training before they'll let you go off on your own. Just because working with spaceships, it's a very like touchy thing. Like you have to really know what you're doing. Some benefits is that it pays really good and there's a very high demand, but they're very like long shifts and long hours, long projects, and so it can be very tiring. And these are the pays. So this is a picture of some aerospace engineers working on an engine. They're just working on an engine. They're wearing their PPE. They're making sure that they know what they're doing. And usually they always work in teams because if you guys know how big like an airplane is, like one person doesn't just build that. You always have to work in teams. So you also have to be good with working with other people. And then how it ties into healthcare is that some aerospace engineers have actually helped create medical devices like pacemakers and like the breathing machines, just because those things are such like high-tech things. Some people who have backgrounds in engineering, they can help out a lot with that. And I think